And greetings, sports fans. We welcome you one more time. Chris Allard, your host here. Tonight, inside the game, we're taking a closer look at one of the best players there is in youth baseball today. We're proud to have him on board and a fine young man and looking forward to a great conversation. Let's just bring him on stage here as we take a look inside the game here, Brandon Manivong. Well, the crowd likes you, B. You got some fans out there. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, Mr. Chris?
I'm doing really well, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's you just got done with a workout and so much to talk about. You're having a great season and you've had a tremendous career so far at such a young age, and it's great to have an opportunity to talk to you. But as we get into things here this evening, B, why don't we start off by asking a couple of straightforward questions? How did you get into baseball, and really, what was your motivation to get into the game, and kind of just give everybody that's enjoying this tonight just a little background on Brandon Manivong?
I started playing baseball when I was 3 years old, and me and my dad would go to the park and just practice all day and
Sure.
every day, and I would just have fun with it. And I fell in love with the game ever since, and I wanted to be the best.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've certainly demonstrated that in a lot of ways, and it's great having family members that are involved with you. And I've got a son as well. He's now a junior in high school and headed to college after next year, and been around the game for a long time. So I know what that's like as a parent. Your parents have to be very happy with the success you've had so far. I'm sure they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah, they
awesome.
are.
Very, very cool. So, talk a little bit about the position you played. I mean, I know growing up as a young player, you're generally exposed to really every position on the field. And as you progress through your journey and you move through at older ages and different stages in the game, you start to become more specialty oriented. But talk about your position that you're currently playing now. I know you're very versatile, but your primary role.
I play shortstop and I pitch here and there. I love shortstop because you could take control of the field and you're a leader on the field, so which is great. And then pitching, you have control of the whole game, and whatever you do is the outcome of the game. So, yeah, I love shortstop and pitching.
Well, you've certainly demonstrated that. I mean, middle infield anywhere really for you, but shortstop, you've clearly defined yourself and continue to excel in that role as well as on the mound. So having that versatility and, as you meant, kind of being in a leadership role and having control of the situation. And I think that's awesome because it just really helps define your baseball IQ, which that's a big part of the game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. So, as you kind of grew up as a young player, parents helping you out, supporting you, and all that. Do your parents, were they athletes? Did they compete in any sports at all?
Yeah, my dad played baseball and football in high school and took baseball to junior college,
Awesome.
but my mom did not play any sports growing up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have one little sister. She's in seventh grade. She plays softball.
That's awesome. I hope you support her. I'm sure you do, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's the way it should be. Brothers, sisters, athletes, helping each other out along the way. That's super cool. That's
Yeah.
great. So, obviously, I want to talk about two things. Number one, before we kind of get into your travel ball experience, um, some people probably know if they paid attention in 2023, the Little League World Series, and I'm sure that was a very special time for a lot of young athletes that have that opportunity to compete at that level, which you did representing Northern California. So, Brandon, talk about that experience and how it was for you, knowing that, here's this team that is assimilated. You're in Northern California, you're competing, you're right in the thick of things. How was that experience for you as a young person?
Yeah, it was a great experience. Being on ESPN was super fun, and I just made lots of memories with my hometown boys. So it was a great experience. And I just loved playing on TV, which was super cool, and so did my teammates.
Yeah, I mean, what an experience, and it was pretty incredible. I mean, you guys went fairly far, right, into the regionals. How far did you end up going?
Yeah, we played in a championship game, but fell short to El Segundo, which was the SoCal team.
Right.
But we fought our hearts out, which
Yeah.
was which was great. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and as the young kids, out there today? I mean, kids that are playing Little League, they're kind of growing up in the sport, and before they get into travel ball and, all the things that come along with that. What would you say to the younger kids out there that are playing the game right now? I mean, here it was for you as probably a youngster. You probably saw the Little League World Series, maybe had aspirations. What would you say to the younger kids out there today that are getting into the game and really starting to embrace it, and kids that are looking forward to maybe having similar experiences that you've had?
Yeah, I just say keep on working, keep on grinding if you really love the sport, and just cut out all the noise, just stay focused, and try to achieve your overall goal in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super good advice. And so, what I'd like to share with everybody at this moment is let's pull up a couple of these couple of these situations. First, I'm going to show this one shot out here. If you'd like to talk about it, let's take a look at it here. We're going to bring it onto the stage here. So, B, what is this here?
This is my first Little League World Series home run.
And I think this is a pretty cool shot. I know this made some highlight reels with ESPN. How did it feel rounding the bags? Once you know you cleared the fence.
Yeah, I was pumped.
Oh, this is pretty cool here. Your teammates ready to celebrate with you.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool. What an experience. And I know that was a highlight reel with ESPN, and you can pick it up on YouTube. And they're talking about that and a lot of other things that you did. Some incredible plays on the infield as well. And it just speaks volumes to the hard work, right? You put in it. It takes time.
Yeah, it does. Just trust the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a thing too. And coaching, talk a little bit about coaching through the younger years for you. What was important to you that you probably took away from the game, from the coaches that you had played around, and to today as well from the coaches that you currently play under?
Yeah, so before ZT, I started out on MVP Hustle Hooks.
Right.
Coach PJ just taught me the fundamentals of the game and just made me a great player. And then when I joined ZT, Coach Carlos, a lot of the coaches, they tweaked my game, which made me a way better player. And that's how I'm here now today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And talk a little bit about your travel team. You play for, go ahead and share that with everybody, just for those folks that don't know. And
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about that.
I play for ZT National Prospects 14U,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a super fun team. We all love the game. We all have the same goals. We all love each other, and it's a brotherhood on that team.
Yeah, and I think, it's interesting you say that. I mean, it's really become a brotherhood, and I've been around it for quite some time and seen you guys grow through the organization. But you talk about the experience with all these great players. I mean, obviously, you guys are highly ranked in the country, and
Yeah.
what the successes that you've garnered. But talking about the philosophy of the coaching within the organization, how's that really helped you and others as a player?
Yeah, the coaching has been great. Coach Carlos is the best infield coach in the country. We got Coach Eric. He's great. He gets our IQ up. Coach Trey, Coach Sam, Coach Ronnie, all these coaches have somewhat helped me better my game on this ZT um, team.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I mean, 14U majors. You guys are a majors team, obviously. You've had a lot of success, but I think that success has come with challenges as well. Talk a little bit about that in the process and growing in the game. It's a long journey, and how a lot of athletes, need to learn to contend with failure at times and some of the challenges. Because I think that's important for young players and even players with experience to hear from your level.
Yeah, in 12U, we did start off the season too strong. We lost a couple tournaments, and we just didn't play as good.
What
But
what do you think were the things that helped you get through that, though? I mean, when you talk about some of the adversity or challenges, what could you share with people to say, "Hey, this is what helped me get better or helped our team get better?"
yeah, it's all a mind game. So You just got to have a strong mindset going into the tournament or going into your game,
Right.
and just think positive. And that's what we did towards the end of the season, but we fell short to Braves Baseball Academy, which was tough. So, yeah.
But I mean, that's it's showing resilience, right? I mean, you have to be able to say to yourself, "Hey, okay, it's not perfect all the time, but we try to hone in on our skills, correct where we need to correct, and take the right action steps, right? And never give up, right? Failure, and this game is really a game of minimizing errors and being on top of it, right? When the time comes.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, for sure. So you talk about the mindset. The mental game is really everything, right? I mean, I'm sure you've felt that when you've been on the mound in tight situations, or you've been in the box ready to swing it in tight situations. Talk
Yeah.
about things for young players, really to kind of narrow in what should you be doing.
I'd suggest for the younger players just to keep on training. If you have one bad game, it doesn't matter. That's just one bad game. You're gonna have plenty of more in the future, and just learn from it. Just bounce back stronger, which um, which is a really good mindset going into older age groups and older and older.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of talk a little bit about some of the things that you've had success with. You've been a multi-year Select Fest player for Perfect Game. You're highly ranked in the country. You're a top ranked player, in the nation, and obviously in California as well. So, you've had a lot of success. I mean, I think the national rankings currently you're 24th in the nation in the class, sixth overall as far as shortstop goes, and in California, overall you're the fifth ranked shortstop. Excuse me, fifth in California rankings, and then second, I believe, at shortstop. So you really have had an incredible career, Brandon, and to say that you're just at this age now where it's 14, the next step's 15, high school. Talk about that and how that's really helped shape you as a player.
Yeah, Perfect Game is a great platform, but I don't really think the rankings matter that much. Going into my freshman high school year, I will be attending De La Salle High School next year, which I'm super excited for. So,
That's
yeah.
great. Well, they're going to get a phenomenal player in you, that's for sure. And I appreciate you making that comment about the rankings, because I think sometimes, you know, people put too much stock and too much emphasis on rankings, which, we don't disagree that that's not an important factor, but really what it is about is it's a long journey, right? And
Yeah.
you'll go into high school, it's a whole new chapter in your life. You'll play at a different level, and it's really quite different, right? So at the end of the day, the rankings aren't everything, they're something, right? Put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
So obviously for younger players out there making that transition from 50-70, some go to 54-80, they drop 3 bat weight changes, all things start to change, then you go to 60-90. What would you say to young players out there on that are in that journey and going into that phase in their baseball career?
I'd say it's gonna be a struggle at first, but just make that adjustment, just keep on playing games, and you'll get used to the bigger fields like 60, 90. And for pitchers, you're gonna struggle a little bit too, which you'll pick up fast. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of run on the ball, especially, at 60-90, it changes, especially hitting too, right? I mean, the bat weight changes, and, what used to maybe be an easy double in the gap now becomes a solid single, right? the game
Yeah.
the game changes. And outfield too. I mean, before maybe fly balls were, good shots that you could get in deep in the field somewhere, maybe an error here and there, but on these deep fields now and with good outfielders, fly balls are not necessarily your friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So line drive shots are always winners. So Brandon, obviously coming up in this weekend, it's a big tournament, the Beast of the East, Perfect Game. It's a national event. Top ranked teams in the 14U majors teams divisions will be there, and you guys are getting ready to go and head out. You've had a pretty good sort of spring season early on. Couple of new additions to the ZT roster. Talk about your preparation and how you're looking forward to getting out on the field this weekend in Panama City.
Yeah, I'm super excited to compete against the top teams in the country. Gonna be super competitive, lots of noise. But at home, I've been turning up the machine to faster pitch speed to face faster pitching in this Beast of the East tournament this weekend. So yeah, I'm ready.
That's awesome. And I know you put in a lot of hard work, a lot of training time, and you've just really done a phenomenal job in what you've been able to accomplish. And I know the journey is still young for you. I mean, you're headed to high school next year. Will you continue at high school, Brandon, in your opinion, to stay in the role you're in? Are you going to start to focus more in towards more one position, perhaps? Or are you going to try to play around as much as you can, still be able to pitch where you can, and obviously your excellence at shortstop? What's your thought process there, and how do you see that unfolding as you get into high school?
Yeah, I want to play shortstop and pitcher in high school, but I'll play wherever the coach needs me. So yeah, I'm ready.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you got a great attitude, and really, I think your character speaks volumes. You're certainly a leader on the field, and you demonstrate that week in and week out. And I know you've got some phenomenal players that are surrounded you and everybody there, and how this team pulls together and works for one another. I think that really speaks volumes to the accomplishments that Coach Carlos has had, and all the other coaches on his staff that has brought this organization together. So, any closing comments, B, about your baseball career and what's next as we wrap things up here?
Yeah, so I want to go to college. I want to go to UCLA down in SoCal.
There you
And
go.
then
Play for
after,
Savage, huh?
yeah, I want to play for Coach John Savage.
Yep.
And then I want to go play in the pro in the major leagues, which is my overall goal. And I'm just working towards that goal and trying to work harder than everybody else every single day.
Well, that's awesome. And one piece that I can't leave out that's always important, talking about, getting through high school, getting into college, the academic part of your life. Speak to that, because I think a lot of people sometimes think that that's not important, but I believe it is. And I think, it creates good insight for you and part of your character and your makeup. Talk about that.
Yeah, it totally does. I think if you don't have the grades, you can't play baseball or do whatever you want. So grades has a huge factor going into your next few years.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, B, I really appreciate your time. And I know you're on a wonderful journey and pathway to the success that you want to personally achieve as the next steps for you, certainly at high school, and having a great summer season here on the PG Tour and what's happening there for you. And then moving on to next year. And then, of course, an opportunity to get into college and keep up those grades. And I'm sure good things will continue to come your way. So, appreciate having you on, Brandon. Thank you for everything, and good luck this weekend as you head to the Beast of the East. But for now, B, thanks again, and good luck to you this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chris.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Well, what a great opportunity to talk to Brandon Manivong. I've seen him play for a number of years now, and he's an outstanding player, a fine young man, and certainly will have a bright future in this game. He's clearly defined it at all levels and will continue to grow in this sport, and it's always a pleasure to have him. So, again, we appreciate you joining us here tonight. Chris Allard, your host, is another episode of Inside the Game. Coming up, we'll be talking to other players, coaches, umpires, and individuals around the country that are involved in this wonderful game of baseball. So for now, we will say so long. If you get a chance, hit us up at CB Stars 1, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support. And for now, we'll say so long. Have a good evening.